Jnana yoga. Yeah, this is our yoga practice today. Hey, what's up? It's Kelly, and welcome to your practice yoga for self-inquiry. What do I mean by self-inquiry? You might know, you might not know that there are actually 4 major paths of yoga. There's karma yoga, bhakti yoga, jnana yoga, and rajas yoga. In jnana yoga, it's known as the yoga of wisdom. And the idea is that you bring your awareness. It's a single pointed focus on one question that has to do with self-inquiry. The big question is, who am I? And that can be as small as, who am I in my own head, in my own mind? That might get a little bit bigger and be, who am I in this relationship? Who am I in this family dynamic? Who am I in this community? Who am I in this world? It can go all the way out, and eventually the idea is that it gets so far out or far in, depending on how you look at it, that you ask, who am I? As a spiritual being, if you will, in a body on this planet. Who am I really? I really, really want to know. This is that self-inquiry, getting right to the core of it. And it's intense. A way that we can make it less intense is sort of taking it on in those bite-sized pieces and way, like I stated. A way that we'll practice it today on our mat with our physical practice is asking ourselves that question from time to time, in moment to moment, in posture to posture. I'll give some reminders. This is the practice of jnana yoga mixed with our raja yoga, our doing, our moving. That single pointed awareness, that focus on this question. Who am I? Take your hands onto your lap, turn your palms up or down. I like to turn my palms up as a gesture of receiving, but sometimes if I'm feeling a little flighty, I'll turn my palms down as a mudra or a gesture of grounding and like I'm here now. Soften your gaze to the tip of your nose or close your eyes. Let's begin practice with 3 deep breaths together. Inhale through your nose. And exhale out your mouth. Inhale through your nose. Exhale a sigh or something out your mouth. This time, inhale through your nose. Make a little restriction to the back of your throat as you do so. Keep that almost like you're fogging a mirror with your mouth closed. Exhale with your mouth closed. Inhale, blink your eyes open. Take your feet out in front of you. When you exhale, drop your knees to your right side. Said that so sing-songy, I love it. Inhale, knees through center. Exhale, knees to left. Inhale, center. Exhale, right. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Inhale. And exhale. One more on each side. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, knees point up. Soles of your feet on the ground. As you exhale, spin on the heel of your hands till you turn your fingers forward. Walk your hands back a bit. And you can take your hands a little wider if it's too much on your wrists. If your wrists happen to be really tight, you could even take your hands out ever so slightly or however much you need. That's okay. Inhale right here. Lift your heart. When you exhale, drop your elbows and your forearms down. You might have to walk your hands forward a little bit to get the exact proportions of where your hands and the rest of your body are. That's fine. When you inhale, push yourself up to 2 straight arms, maybe 1 or both at the same time. And then exhale, drop your elbows to the ground, maybe 1 or both at the same time. Inhale, 1 or both at the same time up. Exhale, 1 or both at the same time down. Cool, so we have that. Now we'll bring in the legs. Inhale, extend your right leg long. When you exhale, lift your right leg just as high as you can. Notice that your right thigh bone gets closer to your hip. Take a breath in. This is flexion. And when you exhale, take your right thigh bone further away, lengthen your leg. Notice that your right thigh bone gets further away from your hip. This is extension. We're working on extension today. For contrast, inhale, right leg up. In flexion, the angle between your hip and thigh decreases. And then exhale, right leg extends and moves forward. The angle between your thigh and hip increases. That's extension. We're focusing on extension today. Inhale, bend your right knee. For good measure, exhale, extend your left leg and lift it up closer to your upper body. Inhale to extension. Exhale back up. Inhale the hip extension. Exhale back up. Inhale, extension. And then exhale, bend your left knee, plant your left foot down. Okay, inhale, push yourself up, one or both arms at the same time. And then as you exhale, rock back to forearms, extend one or both your legs long. Feet together. Inhale, knees bend, feet down or float. Start to lift off your elbows. And then exhale, low boat. Inhale, high boat. Exhale, low boat. Inhale, high boat. Your feet might be on the ground. Exhale, low boat. You might need to drop your heels down. 2 more times. Inhale, high boat. Exhale, low boat. Inhale, high boat. There's lots of options. Exhale, low boat. Good. Bend your knees, push yourself up to 2 straight arms. Big breath in. And then exhale, cross your ankles or take your feet to one side to roll onto your hands and your knees. Tuck your toes, walk your hips just over your knees, wrists under shoulders. Inhale, cow pose, arch your back, heart forward, look up. Exhale, cat pose, round through your spine. Inhale, neutral spine. When you exhale, take your left knee closer to your right and inhale, split your right leg out to your right side. Exhale, circle in and down, and inhale, back and up. Exhale, in and down, and inhale, back and up. Exhale, in. Rather than down, step your right foot to the outer edge of your right hand. Squeeze your inner thighs in, press straight down through your right foot, and inhale, reach both arms up. If it hurts to take your arms straight overhead, you can bring them slightly forward in front of you. You could even take your hands to your hips. If your left knee needs more padding, put something underneath it. Inhale here. Exhale, start to side bend. Squeeze, crunch your right side to bring a little bend to your right side. So your left side lengthens, option to bring your left arm up and over. Inhale. And exhale, maybe you have both arms over. Inhale up. And exhale, bring your hands to the inside of your right foot. Inhale, right leg goes out and back. And exhale, set your right knee down right next to your left. Tuck your right toes under for balance. And inhale, split your left leg out and open. Exhale, bring your left leg in and down. Inhale, back and up. Exhale, in and down. Inhale, back and up. Exhale, in, and instead of down, step your left foot to the outer edge of your left hand. You can help it all the way if you need to. Squeeze in through your inner thighs, press straight down through your left foot. Inhale, rise up. Arms forward or overhead. If that's not gonna work, take your hands to your hips. When you exhale, bend to your left side. Squeeze, crunch, close your left side. So you bring that bend. Right side waist is long, option to bring your right arm up and over your head. Inhale. Exhale. Maybe you have both arms. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hinge from your hips, plant your hands. Inhale, pick up your left leg out and up. And then exhale, left knee next to your right, take your knees wide. Tuck both toes under, inhale, cow pose. When you exhale, lift your hips and press them back, downward facing dog. Soften your knees, that means bend them a little, stick your butt up to the sky. Inhale, shrug your shoulders to your ears. And then exhale, keep that lift through your shoulders or that shrug, but press your heart back to your thighs, open your chest. Breath in. And out. Inhale, ripple forward to plank. Exhale, set your knees down or not. Lower your body all the way to the ground. Untuck your toes. Squeeze your butt so much you feel your hips move down into your mat. When you inhale, peel up your heart and your head like you're peeling off a sticker. Float your hands and move them back behind you so they're underneath your elbows. Exhale, squeeze your butt to press your hips down. Inhale. And then exhale, plant your hands. Tuck your toes. Inhale, push up plank. Exhale, lift your hips and press them back downward, facing dog. Walk your feet a little closer together. Look back. If you can, look at your hips. If there's anything in the way, all right, your chest or belly, maybe take your leg a little wider. If you still can't see, that's okay. We're just working towards looking in that direction. Noticing that in the moment, your right hip is in flexion. Your angle between your hip and your thigh is close together. And then when you inhale, split your right leg back and up. And notice that that angle increases, it's further apart. This is extension. Exhale, right foot down. Look to your left hip and thigh. You might need to walk your left leg to the side. Hip flexion. Inhale, extend your left leg back and up. Notice that angle is increasing. Your thigh and hip are moving farther away from each other. This is hip extension. Exhale, left foot down. Inhale, bend your knees a lot, look forward. When you exhale, set your knees down. Take your feet to one side, find your booty, and come into boat pose. You can always modify by setting your heels down, taking your hands to your thighs, and staying right here. Otherwise, you're up in a 90-degree angle with your arms floating free, or some kind of combo of both of those. Inhale. Exhale for low boat. Start to move your hips into extension just as much as you can. If you need to come back to forearms, that's fine. Whoop, let me scoot onto my mat. Inhale, bring your hips back into flexion for high boat. Maybe your arms are up. Exhale, bring your hips into extension and low boat. Shoulders stay off the ground. I'm shaking. Inhale, high boat, hips in flexion. Exhale, low boat, hip extension. Inhale, high boat, hip flexion. Exhale, low boat, hold for 3. Keep breathing and hip extension for 2. And on 1, start to lift up like you're coming to high boat, but take your feet to your right side, your knees to the left. I'll turn towards the camera so you can see me, but you can stay just as you are. So with your shins, you want to make like a 45-degree angle and a 45-degree angle with your legs, something like that, around there. Fingertips down, inhale. Exhale, hinge from your hips, walk your hands forward any amount. Some of you might even like to come to your forearms or stack your fists. You rest all the way down for a couple breaths. Just for contrast, we're doing the opposite of hip extension. While we're here, bring your awareness to that single-pointed question of who am I? And it might be nice to start in this moment of inquiry of who are you in this moment to yourself? Are you the person practicing yoga? Are you the person breathing? Are you the person observing your thoughts? Who are you? Inhale, come all the way up. When you exhale, twist, rotate from your spine to your left side. Take your right hand to your left leg, your left fingertips behind. Use your arms as like a gentle, very gentle amount of leverage to twist more deeply to your left side. Squeeze your side waist in to activate your core, and then puff up through your chest, breath in. Exhale, look over your left shoulder. Now, plant your left hand down behind you, lean back a bit so there's a slight angle between your left shoulder and left wrist. Flex your feet, dorsiflex your feet so your toes flare to your shins. Press down through your shins. When you inhale, roll your left shoulder on your back. Press straight down to the head of your arm bone. As you exhale, squeeze your glutes to help you lift your hips. Right arm up and overhead. Of course, you can take your right arm in a little bit of a different angle if there's something going on in your shoulders. Otherwise, right arm overhead. Inhale. Exhale. Squeeze your glutes to press your hips forward into extension. Take another breath in. And then exhale, hips down. Right arm down. Left arm comes up and over. You're back to boat. I'm in a different orientation of my mat for the angle of the camera, but you might still be facing the camera, hopefully. We're in boat pose. Remember that you can always take your heels down and your hands back behind you or your hands to your lower back. There's lots of ways that we can do this. Inhale. Exhale, low boat. Inhale, high boat. Exhale, extend through your hips for low boat. Inhale, flex through your hips for high boat. Exhale, hold an extension, breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in. Exhale, imagine that you were coming into high boat, but then take your knees to the left, your feet to the right. Just kidding, take your knees to the right, your feet to the left. That makes more sense. You're 45 and 45 through your shins. That's the angle, just about. Fingertips down, inhale. And then exhale, walk your hands forward any amount. It's possible it's different on this side. You might have to make a different choice. Maybe it feels very similar. Just notice. It's always a good time to check in with body awareness. Check in with your breath. And check in with the question, who am I? You might extend that out a little bit more. Who am I in relationship? Maybe that's to a parent, a partner, a sibling, a child. You can bring any relationship to mind. Who am I? Who am I within that? And then inhale, come up. When you exhale, twist to your right side, left hand to right leg, right fingertips behind, squeeze, cinch, close through your side waist. And then when you inhale, breathe, front of your heart forward so you can press from the back of your heart. Exhale, tuck your chin in, look over your right shoulder, deep breath in. Let it go. And then inhale, plant down through your right hand with your forefingers pointing away. I'll turn so you can see better. You want a slight incline from your right shoulder to right wrist. As you exhale, roll your right shoulder on your back, press straight down to the head of your arm bone. Activate your feet so your toes flare to your shin, your feet are active. Press down through both shins, outer and inner. And then squeeze your glutes to help lift your hips, press them forward and up. Left hand to your hip, left arm up, or even over if possible. Squeeze your glutes to press your hips forward. Feel your hips in extension. Take a breath in. And then exhale, booty down. Rock into your lower high boat. Yogi's choice. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, take your feet to your right, your knees to the left. Make the 45, 45 once again. Inhale here. Exhale, hinge from your hips. Take a couple breaths here. Who am I? You might expand that. Who am I in relation to my community. Who am I within that? Inhale all the way up. Exhale, twist to your left side. This time, try to stay free through your hands. Left elbow back, right elbow forward. Activate through your feet, press through your shins. If you need to end up using a hand, that's fine. We've already been there, you know what to do. Otherwise, when you inhale, squeeze your glutes to lift your hips and press them forward into extension, forward. Exhale here. Inhale. And then exhale, hips down. Rock it back to boat pose. Low or high, that's your choice. Breathe. Low or high, that's your choice. Maybe I'll switch it up from last time. And we're focused on extension, so maybe we should actually do extension. Breath in. And when you exhale, take your knees in to the left, feet to the right. Big breath in. Exhale, hinge from your hips. Fold forward, any amount. Who am I? Inhale up. Exhale, feet left, knees right. There we go. Trying to move around, got myself a little bit confused, but we're all good. Here we are. Who am I in relation to the world, the globe? Inhale up, option to go hands free. Exhale, twist to your right side. Activate your feet. Push down through your feet, push down through your shins. Inhale. When you exhale, squeeze your glutes to activate and lift your hips forward. Twist back to your right side. Inhale. Exhale, press your hips forward. Take another breath in. And then exhale, hips back down. Boat pose. Let's do low boat pose. Remember, you can always bend your knees. You can keep your forearms on the ground. Otherwise, we're here. Feet together. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale to a higher boat shape. And then exhale, plant your feet down. Hands back behind you. Fingertips point forward. And you might need to take them out a little bit if your wrists are super tight. Again, that's okay. Roll your shoulders back and swish your knees side to side. Plant down through your feet so you feel like you can really press down through all 10 toes, the inner and outer edges of both feet. Inhale. When you exhale, start to squeeze your glutes to lift your hips. Use your glutes to lift your hips is what I'm asking. And bring your hips into extension. Chin slightly in or head slightly tilted back. So if it's in, right, you're kind of looking forward. If it feels okay, you can look back ever so slightly. Avoid dropping the weight of your head like that. Ooh, reverse tabletop. Squeeze your glutes to lift your hips into extension. Take another breath in. And then exhale. Hips down. Inhale, straighten your right leg. Exhale right here. Inhale, puff your chest. Exhale, squeeze your glutes to help lift your hips. So you're pressing the ball of your right foot like it could touch the ground. It might not get quite there, but you're working towards it. Press down through your left foot. If this is a little too much, you can always go back by sliding your right foot back into the reverse tabletop. Otherwise, we're here in a reverse plank prep. Inhale, lift your hips into extension. And then exhale, sit bones down. Switch, right knee in, left leg straight. You might find like, yeah, I'm gonna do reverse tabletop again and skip this second option. That's totally fine. Inhale, heart open. Exhale, squeeze your glutes a lot to help you lift your hips into extension. Press through the ball of your left foot if you're with me. Look up or slightly back, breathe. Breathe or back off. Reverse plank prep. Inhale. Exhale, tailbone down. Extend both legs long. So you can do reverse tabletop. That's where both feet are bent or on the ground and your knees are bent into the reverse tabletop. Or maybe you want to move into one leg long, one leg bent. That's nice and supportive. You can do maybe one lift on each side. Otherwise, we're here. Legs are long. Feet can be together or hips width. I'm moving hips width. I like that. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, squeeze your glutes like crazy to help you lift your hips. Use your glutes to lift your hips. Press through the balls of your feet. Lift your hips into extension. Inhale, look up or slightly back. Exhale here. Inhale, lift your hips, reverse plank posture, our peak pose. And then exhale all the way down. Right away, bend your knees a little and take your feet wide. Inhale on fingertips, lift your heart. Exhale, tilt your pelvis forward and fold forward. You might like to bring a little blanket or block underneath your seat if it's hard for you to fold forward, if it feels like it forces you to round your lower back. The extra height can help your pelvis tilt forward. And I can actually show you that if you just need a visual of how that is true. If you watch here, sometimes it's hard to fold forward, just kind of create that shape. And this height, this might be a little too much height for me. Actually, maybe you have a smaller blanket or a smaller block. This can help without even me trying necessarily. And I can actually even try to go in a little bit of a round and I'm still folding more deeply with my hips lifted. Using a blanket or block or not, I always like to show those options. And breathe. We're doing contrast here from what the focus was. Biomechanically in class, we were focused on the action of hip extension, and now we're in hip flexion. Again, you can see my hips are moving closer to my thighs. That angle is decreasing. My hips and thighs are getting closer together. It's good to practice a little counter posture after we've been focused so heavily in one way. And it was pretty balanced throughout, but it's nice to be here, really making sure that we're rounding it out. Letting yourself move back for a moment into that self-inquiry. Who am I? And now before we take Shavasana, you can get way far out with it. Who am I as a spiritual being in a body on this planet? Who am I in relationship to the whole universe, the creative force, the source energy? Who am I really? I invite you to meditate on that question as we come all the way back up, round it up. And then exhale, bend your knees, scoot your hips forward, and recline onto your back. If your lower back hurts you, bend your knees in to support one another, like me here in the moment, or you could straighten your legs out, bring them together, take them wide out. Fidget, adjust, move, sigh, yawn, stretch your jaw, all those things. Who am I really? When I peel back the veils and layers of illusion, when I can get past right and wrong, this and that, my beliefs, my values, my things, my perspective, my perception. When we can peel back past all those layers, who are we then? Who are we when we are identified as a role, when we are identifying with what's in our bank account, what car we drive? If we don't identify with who we have in our life, who we don't have in our life. Who are we when all is said and done? Who are we really? Bring your awareness to your physical body. Take a deep breath and feel as much as you can feel in your body. Exhale, release any lingering charge or whatever from the physical practice. Start to wiggle through fingers and toes, roll through your ankles and wrists. Inhale, make some kind of fuller, longer body stretch. And then exhale, shift to one side, press yourself all the way back upright. Soft gaze to the tip of your nose, or even close your eyes. Hands in at your heart center. I thank you so much for diving in with me through this physical practice and the exploration of this single pointed question: who am I? Namaste. Many blessings.